Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. That's Dalitha. I am Travis. It's our 3rd year anniversary here.
Yay! We've been here for 3 full years.
3 full years right now.
Watching this.
We've watched the whole wrestling evolve. We went from...
evolve, de-evolve, might de-evolve some more, might evolve a little bit.
It's always moving forward, though. But we went through a lot of different eras. But we're right back where we started. Triple H.
Right.
Well, he was the guy that was running NXT when we were watching it.
Right.
And then it changed. And now WWE is just going to be the next NXT.
It is. I have a feeling that that's...
You could see it on Monday.
Probably what's happening. We'll
and there are NXT fans. There was over 700,000 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done enough to scare off the old folk yet that watch.
Yeah.
So they brought back some of the casuals, so their ratings went up. Mm-hmm. They've just got to figure out a way to keep all of it.
Yep.
But I don't think Tommaso Ciampa being pushed to the top is the way to do it.
And I don't think that they'll be happy with it if Paul goes down this line and continues down the road he did with NXT. WWE will lose people and it'll go to shit.
Right.
He cannot push tiny little 12-year-old wrestlers constantly. You can't.
Supposedly,
be WWE
he's bringing
anymore.
in Karrion Kross very soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big news today.
That he's going to bring him back.
Right. And he's not a small guy.
He's not, but he's not a big guy either. He's kind of just mediocre. In
right.
all reality, he's
a little bit smaller than John Cena type.
Yeah.
He's probably the same height as John Cena.
And in John Cena's era, he was not a big guy.
He's pretty strong.
Strong, but not big.
Right.
I don't care how strong you are.
They're doing a full recap
different.
right now of SummerSlam, by the way, guys. That's why we haven't actually...
it's because SmackDown has to be lame, I guess.
Well, they have to show you what happened.
Remember,
oh, yeah,
this is the first show. A little bit, I guess.
This is the first show after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we've got Walter in the chat, though. Hey, Walter. We also have Raleigh with us. Hey, Raleigh, good to see you tonight. Sophie is out there. Jocelyn.
Hello.
James is out there. Hey, Jocelyn.
Hey, Jocelyn.
Walter saying hello. Raleigh says hi, Travis and Dalitha. Sophie was talking about the 2 million viewers for Raw this week.
Yeah, like 2.2 or something like that I had read
somewhere.
Also
talking about the Killer Kross and his wife like you were, coming back to WWE possibly. Raleigh's hoping to see Sasha and Naomi return tonight. OMG, I'd go amazing.
We do have a women's gauntlet match, which could last a full hour.
And, yeah.
That'll be
Those are probably 2 people I'm not excited to see return or ever be in wrestling ever again. I'd be totally fine with never seeing Sasha Banks ever return to any kind of wrestling.
You're not a fan of Sasha?
Just go away from the whole thing altogether. I'd be totally fine with it.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's because she's a big fat crybaby. Like,
yeah,
her
there's
attitude
a lot of people like that,
such a bad attitude. I wouldn't want that kind of negativity and nastiness even around any of my locker room people, men or women. I just wouldn't want it to be part of it at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, it is the generation. It's not going to change.
I mean, and I get it. I know a lot of people really like her out there, and I know you guys are huge fans. I'm just not. It's just my opinion about it. It's my opinion about her attitude. I don't like it. She's quit 3 or 4 times now, and they've given her a chance every time, and she's come back, and she quits again, and she's always complaining and crybabying about this or that, and I just feel it's obnoxious. It just needs to go away.
And it probably is. Once Vince is gone, it probably won't come back up. She might have just butted heads with him. Their personalities might not have meshed. We'll see how it works going forward. I mean, just like everything else I say in wrestling, just wait and see.
I have a feeling that no matter what, she may get along with him for a split second, but anything that doesn't go her way, and they don't say, oh, it's fine, we'll do it your way. And she goes, but if you don't do it my way, I'll walk out, and it'll happen. She'll just walk out again. And then she'll just drop it, and then they'll be like, oh, it's fine, you can come back again. That's bullshit. Like, if you quit your job, you don't get to come back out there in the real world. You guys quit your job,
there he is,
what happens?
the tribal chief with the Uso penitentiary. But it is what it is. And she's only going to be able to do it a few times, but it's none of our business. All we have to do is watch what happens between the ropes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to see the piece of crap on my TV. Raleigh's like, true, Travis, you could see it on Monday Night NXT, Triple H, great point. Which is pretty sad, because I really don't want to see NXT. I don't.
It hasn't turned into the black and gold yet.
Jocelyn Jeans also says, unpopular opinion here, but I actually prefer NXT over Raw and SmackDown. Call me crazy.
Well, a lot of people did.
And a lot of
And that's
people
what
did.
I said. There was
True.
like over 700,000 people that watched it.
And they did, and they really liked it. Because of certain things, though. Like,
Aspect.
it's because of how long the wrestling matches were. It was because of their entrances and stuff like
More
that.
competitive.
It was more competitive and things like that. But in all reality, the only reason why you guys are fans of the guys you saw are because those are the only guys you saw. So you kind of were forced and manipulated to be fans of them. So if you only see those people all the time and that's the only wrestling you watch, you're going to only like those people.
Right. They just said that they liked it better. They didn't say they only watched it.
Right. But I'm saying a lot of people did.
I understand, like, with AEW, NXT, and the main roster, you got this big variety of wrestling, and you got to pick what you liked. I liked the NXT brand. I liked the AEW brand, but then AEW turned into a mixture of NXT, AEW, which watered it down.
Yeah.
I still like AEW. I'm still trying to stay with it, but
Right.
it's definitely... I don't like Wheeler Yuta, and I don't like Daniel Garcia, and they've main evented the last two, and I don't feel like they're main event superstars, and they're main eventing with them.
Yeah.
And it does make me worry that Tony Khan is losing reality on that one, which kind of scares me just a little bit. And when I say I don't like them, I don't know them as humans. I mean, as I don't like them.
Whatever their actions are doing with their
in the
business,
ring.
I'm not keen on. Let's put it that way. Walter says Raw will be 2 hours next year. You think?
Look
Think
at
that's
this.
what they're going to
Foot
do for sure, huh?
to penis. The tiny target spot. See, he was a punter.
Yes. Some says, did you hear about the HBO Max and Discovery Plus are going to merge, recreate one new streaming service that is set to debut next year?
I did not.
I didn't know they were going to do a whole new streaming service. I thought they were just going to merge onto one platform, but okay. That kind of sucks for everybody who has just HBO Max or Discovery Plus if that's what they really got.
I'm sure if you have it, it'll just be that one.
Well, they have deals with companies. Like, they have deals with AT&T for HBO Max. So if you have a deal with that company and you're getting a deal through them, they're going to have to revamp a lot of... That's a lot of contracts that they're going to have to freaking do shit with.
I don't think
I
so.
think
I think it'll just be part of the
stupid on their
merger.
part.
They'll just put it on there.
They'll say, oh, you have to go log into this other app. Yeah, that's not a pain.
Yeah, I
in the
mean, I don't
asshole.
know who has Discovery Plus, but...
I don't know. That's why I didn't say that one too much.
Well, HBO is just going to be what it is.
Yeah. Raleigh says Hope Scarlett's with him. I did not think of that Travis first show since SummerSlam. And Sophie says, I'm guessing they are doing the recap for the people that didn't watch the pay-per-view. Walter's like, Daphne, the champ of WWE 2K. Woo! Jocelyn Jane says she's obnoxious. Sasha Banks. Raleigh says, okay, not a Sasha fan. Delete. I understand what you mean. I mean, and I'm not. I'm trying really hard, guys. I'm not dissing on you if you really like Sasha Banks. I get it. She's really pretty. She's not a bad wrestler. She just has a really shitty attitude. In real life, shitty attitude.
Naxos. No. Here's another example. We're going to see Ricochet going up against Happy Corbin. So we'll see who wins this one.
Yeah, it won't be Corbin. I call it right now.
Because Triple H really did push this guy. And we know he's a mid-card upper guy. He's not a superstar, but he's a mid-card guy.
Do I feel he should ever be a major champion? No.
But we'll see how the Triple H era rolls. Because this is what we're talking about. But we want to see these guys wrestle. It's not like we hate them.
No.
I don't want to see him on the unemployment line.
No. I want to see him have jobs and do stuff and everything, but I don't want it to be, oh, well, the little guy always gets to win against the big guy because the big guy's a big bully because he's big. It's fucking dumb.
Hasn't started yet.
So he says, if you need the stats for the past Monday, Raw had 80 minutes of wrestling under...
I have it all
when
written
it was under
down.
Vince, we usually, yeah, Travis has all that information. He already got
I
through
time
a lot of
every
that.
Raw.
Yeah. Raleigh says, true, good point, Talitha. Walter says, Saturday is AEW Battle of the Belts. Are you guys going live? It's only for an hour, so probably.
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Blech. Battle of the Belts.
Ruins my night. No, I'm just kidding. Completely. Right in the middle of a fucking night, too. I hate that shit.
It's just
like right in your prime time of doing stuff. It's like
Naxos.
Ravi's like, do your 100 right. Walter says, boo, Bloodline, and hi, Ravi. Luke's in the chat, though, too. Hey, Luke. Says, hi, all. So it was like, yeah, and you get to hear wrestler and wrestling that were banned back on WWE TV. Raleigh says, Ciampa will get a push because of his NXT relationship with Paul. Jocelyn Jeans says, yeah, but it's exactly the same in every promotion. They all have their spotlight stars and the ones you never see on TV. But shouldn't you see them all on TV? Like, no matter what, no matter if they're mid-card, jobber, high-end, you should see all of them.
Well,
they should all get a chance to be on TV no matter where they rank at.
Right, and I think Triple H will do a better job of that.
I just don't want him to
push. Vince only pushed like 5 guys. Right. I mean, like, and when I say push, I mean there was like
5 guys you saw all the time
7
on TV,
guys on Raw.
Yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from. I just don't want it to be a flip-flop.
Right.
I don't want to be those 7 guys be the guys that they go, oh, well, hey, you've had all these pushes. Well, now you're shit. So go the fuck away.
Right. They're not going to do that to Roman.
And we're going to only push these little tiny 12-year-old looking guys because, you know, I don't like the guys to be bigger than me, says Paul.
I think AJ will be fine, even though he is a smaller guy, but he'll be fine on the main roster. I don't know about Bobby. We'll see on Monday. I would assume Bobby will be pretty safe.
Anyways, I'll let you call for wrestling. If you want to.
Looks like Happy Corbin's doing a pretty good job in there with Ricochet right now. Picking up Ricochet off the ground, throwing him into the corner. Throws him to the other side hard. Ricochet falls down. And then a pause in the action. Not a huge fan of the pausing in the action. But you see that in the power matches sometimes.
Right.
All right, throws Ricochet out through the ropes. Ricochet holds on, hits him with a shoulder block. Up, over. Nope. Big right hand. Ricochet still didn't fall down to the floor, though.
Corbin probably should stop paying attention to Pat McAfee and just do his job.
He wants Pat. Pat kicked him in the nards. We're gonna see Ricochet win this because Pat McAfee's gonna somehow distract Corbin.
Right.
Which is a fine way to win.
So
I don't know how
Corbin
he's gonna do it. Is he gonna roll him up?
On.
Is that shoes? Van?
Yeah, Vans.
They were skater shoe in like the 90s.
Yeah, well, those are like high top ones, but they're blue.
Oh yeah, I like those.
Those are pretty cool. And they have
all right, Ricochet
bolts on the side.
Kicked him in the head. They Lightning McQueen. Shoes? Whoa! Yeah, if Triple H can make a star out of Ricochet in NXT, imagine what he can do with the talent on this main roster. All right, commercial break time.
All right, Crazy says D turning heel right now. Let's all just shut up and enjoy this. Raleigh's like US champ or something maybe. Walter says, hey Luke. Sophie says it will be interesting to see how the Warner Discovery merger affects AEW TV in the future. Raleigh says, have you seen the Rampage figures? 300,000, 400,000. Oh my god, crap. Wrong time, not best show, in my opinion.
It's tough. I know they moved JR there to get the ratings up a little bit. That's why JR comes out in that second hour of Dynamite.
Yeah. But I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. I mean, I get it.
Well, he's not going to draw.
No, he's not drawing people.
He's not what he was.
Whatever their talent is what's not drawing people. So if you're not going to put good
tonight,
talent
Jon
on
Moxley
Rampage,
has a match for the title.
For the interim?
Yeah.
Somebody has a match against him for the interim?
Yeah, tonight. I'm like, on Rampage?
That's just...
They're trying.
They're just like grasping. Oh, help us!
Well, they're trying, but it's just the wrong time slot. I feel like if you're going to have it on at that time, because that's 10 o'clock when it starts.
Right.
On the East Coast, everybody wants to go out to the bar and be with their friends. Anybody in their demo.
Yes.
You know?
Their demographic, they're trying to be
Right.
included. Their young demographic,
Right.
right?
And so they want to be out. They want to be getting strange. They want to be hooking up with whatever they want to do. They want to be doing that.
They want to be doing it, not at
Right.
home watching fucking wrestling.
Right. And so they're out cruising. They're out picking up.
Because the only people that stay home and watch wrestling are the weirdos.
That's us. Anyways, but what I'm getting at there is it's really hard to draw fans to watch it. Because what person in their right mind is going to say, oh, hey, babe, oh, no, I can't go out tonight. Jon Moxley's wrestling. Nope, it's never been said.
Right? No, I wouldn't say it either.
Right? It's never been said. Now, they'll DVR it and they can watch it later. But nobody in their right mind's ever said, and no, Hogan's wrestling tonight. I can't go out. You know, it didn't happen.
Right?
I just say, fuck it, and miss it.
Yeah.
In my day, there wasn't DVRs.
Yeah, it was what's going to be in the papers later on about what they did.
Yeah, it just, and that's why.
Or if you caught like a wrestling news report thing or something, if they ever
which
did
didn't
anything
exist
like that.
in those times, you know? Yeah, I mean, I could have tried to record it on VHS tape or something, but nowadays they have the advantage of just recording it on
Right.
a system, a hard drive or something.
Right. Walter says at 9:30 p.m. I'm going be here Monday and Saturday, but it's still here in chat. Sophie says MJF's story has been quiet now. Really hard to tell if it's real or fake. Vindicator's in the chat. Hey, Vin says, hey there, Gabsters. Seems like Paul has allowed McAfee to be unleashed. Walter says AEW new video game, not bad. Rally says Ricochet getting used. Wow, he's so good in the ring. Walter says happy Corbin will lose. Rally's like, is it out, Walter, AEW game? Cool. No, Raleigh, it's not. They kind of had a actual leak of it, of what it was going to look like, but it's not really, the game itself is not released at all.
No. You're looking around like November, December when that's coming out.
Jocelyn Jane says, I'm discreet, she's not pretty to me, maybe because of her personality in the long run, but I cringe whenever she's on. Sasha.
Oh.
But some people do find Sasha pretty, Jocelyn. I don't really care, but I mean, some people think she's pretty, and
we are back with the action, by the way. Corbin's still wearing down on Ricochet. Ricochet's working his way out of it, though, using his whole entire body to fight Corbin here.
What the hell was that?
He's trying to. That's what gymnasts do. It's like a pre-run run.
Oh, Jesus. He looked like he had retard syndrome happening. Forgot how to run for a second.
He's very artistic in his running.
Yes. Extreme.
Very artistic.
All the artistic.
I love that Corbin wrestles in a shirt. It's kind of creepy at the same time.
It's like some weird, thing you would find in New Orleans, right?
Well, I'm just talking about just period, that he has a shirt on.
He's been doing that since he's been this Happy Corbin character. He's been wrestling in a shirt, and it's really...
I like the Happy Corbin character, but at the same time, it's like he hasn't got any pushes with it, but he's on TV, which is nice. It makes him an uber heel, and uber heels get lots of action.
Right.
He's the guy that, if we had a babyface champion, would wrestle for the heavyweight championship in a 2-month-long storyline.
Ah, okay.
He wouldn't win it, obviously, but
right.
We've seen it in the past. And they could. You know, if they put the Universal Championship on Corbin, people wouldn't be surprised, right? Like, you wouldn't go, oh my God, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Because you know it's coming off of him soon and to a babyface.
Right.
Ricochet. Corbin just holding him up there like a baby. Boom. Kicks him in the face. Into the ropes. Corbin picks him up right into a backbreaker. He's got him in the torture rack. Whoa, right into a neck breaker. That's got to hurt. 1, 2, and Ricochet kicks out. That was actually pretty funny. He put him in a torture rack.
That's funny.
To then give him a backbreaker. But
right.
Obviously we have a break in the action. Corbin's pacing around, wondering why he can't pin Ricochet. Picking him up by his throat.
Sophie talking about AEW going to have another reality show, but with AEW women. Okay.
Wasn't that what they had before with the Rhodes?
I thought so too. Jocelyn says Ricochet is awesome. Vindicator says I wish Corbin would drop this gimmick, but at least...
2. Ricochet almost had him right there with that fruit roll-up.
At least it feels somewhat like a fresh match.
It is. And we could get some fresh matches, some longer feuds. Obviously, the feud here is not Ricochet. That's not what this is. This isn't starting a Ricochet feud. See, Corbin is literally looking at McAfee as everything's happening.
Yeah.
He's very distracted. Basically, so when he loses, it's going to be a built-in excuse. Like, well, he could have won if he paid attention, but he was really worried about McAfee on the outside. And McAfee's not really on the outside. He's a ring announcer. He's not going to get up and leave.
What? Why wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe he should. Just get up and walk out.
Ricochet rolls through. Doesn't have the strength, though. Corbin's just too big and strong. Corbin picks him up by his throat.
Walter wants Ricochet to win. Sophie says Warner Media and Discovery merger. Great. Raleigh says Corbin never wins at the moment. And Luke says, sorry I wasn't here Wednesday. It's okay, boss. We understand.
We had fun.
But I've been trying to spend more time with Jade. Won't be here all night either, but I'll be back Monday full time while Jade is off visiting family. Nope, you gotta do what you gotta do.
All right, McAfee is getting involved. McAfee is getting involved.
Jocelyn says, yeah, she should see all of them. I just mean that NXT isn't the only promotion doing it that way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, NXT changed a lot over the last, year and a half? Year? I don't like the colors. I'm hoping that they do change the colors of the NXT brand. It doesn't have to go back to black and gold by any means,
and it can still say like NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
But just pick a color scheme instead of being all weird.
Yeah, it's like they just took a bucket of paint and
like
threw
Corbin's
it against
shirt.
the wall. Ricochet up top!
They used Corbin's shirt as inspiration.
Standing moonsault off the top. 1, 2, and 3. Ricochet with the W.
As Raleigh says, Corbin never wins at the moment. Right? Sophie says, Luke, you must have heard about the HBO Max Discovery Plus merger. Sophie's like, I did. Or Luke says, I did, Sophie. So it's like Johnny Gargano could be back in WWE this Monday since WWE is going to be in his hometown of Cleveland. Luke says, but I haven't been focusing on much other than stuff here at home. Jocelyn says, I got in root for Ricochet. I'm only 4'10" underdogs all day. Raleigh says, Pat distraction. I think love Pat really good at what he does. Wrestler commentator, his show. Indicators most attractive. Raleigh says, is JR on Rampage, Travis? Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, he's on for the whole hour of Rampage.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the whole hour for it. It's weird.
She's just making stuff up at this point.
Isn't he? Isn't he on there for the whole hour of
He
Rampage?
supposedly has a match. I just read about it.
JR?
Oh, we're talking about JR. I thought he was talking about, what's his name?
He's talking about JR.
The champion.
Is JR on Rampage, Travis? Okay, didn't know that when you were talking about JR being commentator on there.
He is the commentator. Look at this. This is where Liv taps. So she taps before Ronda gets counted out.
Yeah.
So Ronda won.
Supposedly.
They need an instant replay system in wrestling. But anyways, that's what's coming up next. We got the Gauntlet match with all the females. It looks like there's 7 females. And the winner of that will go on to Clash at the Castle and wrestle Liv Morgan, the paper champion.
Good for him. Or her. Or them. Whoever. Sophie says AEW fans want Rampage to be live and be on a much better time slot and make it 2 hours. Vindicator says, Luke, the chat actually stayed under control for the most part while you were gone. Only myself and Ayla were causing trouble, so, basically the usual good shit. Sophie says, I'm surprised TNT haven't canceled Rampage at this point. Luke says, good to hear, Vin. Raleigh says, we're all weirdos. Funny, Deliva. Sophie says, and also Rampage is taped after Dynamite airs.
Yes.
Luke says, I agree with Trav. There is getting to be so much wrestling. It's cutting into time I use for other things, and that's no bueno. It really is. On my side, too. Like, no bueno. I don't like it. I really don't.
Right.
There's other things that I would rather do.
And you also got to think about the other aspect of it is that there's 2 hours of SmackDown before it, too. So hypothetically, you could watch SmackDown because it's on a little bit earlier before you go out with your buddies.
Right. You can watch a little bit of it.
But you're not going to sit there for 3 hours and then wait till 11 o'clock to go out.
Not on the East Coast or not.
I mean, I like to go out at 11 o'clock, because we would do house parties first. Right. What are you going to have people come over to your house and do shots before you go out?
And watch wrestling.
To watch wrestling. You're not going to pay attention to it.
Come over and watch wrestling and do shots with you? That's exactly what's going to happen. Raleigh's like, yeah, I usually taped better live, but there you go. So he says at the end of August, SmackDown will be double taped because of the UK show. Vindicator says, weirdness is in the eye of the beholder, Raleigh. Crazy says, I can't wait to hold up my Y to Lethal Y sign next week while she explains why she did it wearing a suit. Love Hill D. Raleigh says, thanks for saying November, December AEW game released.
Yeah.
Luke says, all the major reviews for the AEW game have been horrendous. The highest review it got was 4 out of 10. Now, obviously, the full game might be better, but all the major game reviews got early copies and not asinine review.
It's supposed to be as good as the equivalent of playing the 2005 games.
Oh God. Oh my God. That's really bad. Because considering what they have now for games, right. Oh my God, the people can't handle that. You cannot handle that when you are so.
Right. Well, when Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega's in the process of helping, that's his baby, I guess you could say. He wants it to be played like those games because those games were super exciting. Okay. But they're kind of I guess maybe they just took his idea and just said, oh, you want the 05 version of it? We could do that.
We could totally do that. And then they did the graphics that way. People have been so spoiled with the way graphics are in games nowadays. There's no way that.
Did you see that video I sent you with the Harry Potter book?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The graphics on stuff is just so insane. It's honestly so spoiled with it that if you had to, it's like watching a movie that you're watching in 4K. And go back to watching a show or a movie that you used to like that was from the freaking 80s. In the 80s type SD
it would be all version. Grainy and weird.
And you're just like, why is it so hideous? Why is it so grainy? Why is
it wasn't that grainy to us then because
the pixels on the TV were completely different.
Yeah, it was a different television. Yeah. But now when you watch those old VHS tapes or whatever, it's really weird.
Yeah.
But that's just because of the television. Yes. I thought it was because that's how we used to see it with our eyes.
No.
I was like, oh.
No.
Oh. I don't remember ESPN looking like this.
Right? Ayla's like, hey. Luke's like, hi, Ayla. Sophie says the AEW video game footage is horrible at the stupid mini games. Raleigh says, happy Corbin, always on TV every week. That has to go away. He's good at his job and has a cool finisher.
Yes.
Sophie says USA Network told the WWE they want a world champion on Raw after the draft because they don't have a champion to promote.
We could be getting a draft soon, guys, just in a few weeks. We might even get a draft before the pay-per-view, but I would assume it'll be after.
That's weird. I don't know. I just find that kind of weird that they're going to do the draft that early.
August, September. Well, it's usually the end of September, early October, which it still could be. I've just been, obviously, everything that I'm talking about I've got off Twitter. So
hearsay.
It's the dirt sheet.
It's the Usos and Sami Zayn. Sammy's back there licking their butts. Good for you, Sammy. Crazy says, who uses 3 Ys on their haze? That's no grunge. Raleigh says, not seen Torture Rack for a while. And Sophie said, are they setting up a Corbin versus Pat rematch for the next pay-per-view? Maybe. Yeah, no, you ain't gonna come in.
It's not a good time, it was.
I'll shoot you a text. I'll shoot you a text later. It's fine. Raleigh says, we're Sonya Deville and not done much. I think she is match tonight.
She has a match tonight. She's in the Gauntlet match.
Ayla's like, I like the multiple Ys. It's cute. And Ayla says, so many Ys. I put A instead of the. Crazy says, laughing. And Sophie says, there has been a lot of Vince memes after he retired and Paul took over. Then here says, Ayla, you're right on time. You just about always clocking around 15 to 20 minutes into the gabbiness of this Gabalicious Gab Fest. Then says 15 to 20 minutes. Tiger's in the chat. Hey, Tiger says, can't you show this on stream because it's free? No.
Yeah, I wish we could. I thought about doing something shadowish in the back before. Where it's just the movement behind something.
Right. So, due to copyrights violations, Tiger, we can't show anything. We're just a live reaction to it.
It'd be cool if we could.
We try to keep you updated on what's happening, and right now they're just showing a background of the
this is
Liv
the
and
SummerSlam
Ronda match. Why they're having a gauntlet match for the women, so that Liv has an opponent at Clash of the Castle pay-per-view.
Right, and that's probably coming up next.
Ayla says, I just got home from work. Takes about 8 minutes to drive home from work. I get to work at 6 my time, and that's when Wrestling Gab starts. So he says, this crowd that we got tonight is so much better than the crowd we got Monday. And Luke says, no, they cannot show the actual show due to copyright issues. This is a reaction-only stream. Tiger says, okay, thanks.
And you can just hang out with people in there.
Yes. So he says, when do you see Charlotte come back to TV? I don't know.
Hopefully soon. That's all I'm saying. I think SmackDown could really use her.
Luke says, no problem, Tiger. Vin's message retracted. And Luke says, that's why I've been not around as much. Too much wrestling and not enough time with Jade and the animals. Though I'm not sure who was more upset, Jade or the animals. So he says, for Battle of the Belts, why only 1 hour? Why can't they extend? You know, Sophie, for somebody who doesn't watch AEW, you sure like to come in on a SmackDown night and talk about it a lot.
It's just a little 1 hour show. It's just Battle of the Belts. There'll probably be 3 matches or so.
It's their third one that they've
Battle of the Belts 3. It's just a fun little special. They don't want to buy a whole bunch of TV time or get rewarded TV time or however they get TV time. I don't know how that works.
Vindicator's like, Ayla, you should get some exercise and just walk to work. And it's like, no way, I'll live on top of a big hill. It'd probably take an hour to walk to work. It wouldn't take you an hour to walk to work. It would be easy. It's mostly downhill.
Ludwig Kaiser.
It would be really shitty coming home, though. So he says the footage of the AEW video game looks like they were back in the 90s. Vindicator says buying TV to end costs lots of money. Sophia and Ayla says basically a mountain. I'm a mountain troll. Luke says, oh, games who play wrestling games are roasting AEW and Omega about the game, and gamers are not shy about roasting crappy-looking games.
Right.
Crazy says, VHS porn, the good old days. Luke says, well, when it comes to the AEW game, those fans are really wrong. So he says, they announced the AEW game like 2 years ago. Dennis Kwan's in the chat. Hey, Dennis says, any women matches today?
Right now we're gauntlet match. Well, not right now.
It's
right now,
going to be happening here in a minute.
Yeah, there's going to be a gauntlet match with 7 women. The winner of it will go on to wrestle Liv Morgan at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, Walter says, Sammy, don't talk to Reigns. Walter says, hey, Ayla. Vindicator says, Ayla, giving them 60 minutes of unrestricted free will, your legs would thank you afterwards. Ayla's like Travis getting his information from Twitter and not Reddit. Noob. Hi, Walter.
I do have a Reddit now, but I don't know how it works.
Right. Robbie says, are you excited for Ronda getting humiliated? Is she even in this? I don't even know what's happening. Ayla's like, no, Vin. Robbie's like, hi, Ayla, you okay? Vin's like, but yeah, exercise is overrated. Yeah, Vin, we know what happens when you exercise. Trees attack you. It's terrible and scary. Ayla's like, no, I'm never okay. So he says Becky would still be a heel if Vince was still around. Dennis says, are they using Xia Li tonight?
Yes, she is going to be in the gauntlet match.
Nicker says, yes, Dennis, and I'm happy. Robbie says, lol, Ayla, never born ready. Crazy says, yes, don't do it, Ayla. You're going to lose that nice bubble. Walter says, Shinsuke for the win. Ayla says, nope, every time I'm born, it's too early. But here's a little pat kicking Cole. Robbie says, Sophie, just enjoy it. Ayla's like, bro, auntie, you're strange. Bryce says, hello, I'm here. What up, guys? Hey, Bryce.
What up, Bryce?
Nice to see you, hon. How are you doing? Did I finally catch up? Yay. Sophie says, how is your daughter doing?
She's fine. She just had surgery again today. She had
not on her knee or anything.
She had cosmetic surgery.
Her knee is actually not bad. She's got water on the knee.
She had water on the knee, which I tease her about. Because she really has water on the knee.
She really has water on the knee, and it's funny.
We used to use that all the time. Anytime we hurt anything, we called it water on the knee. Right. Like, you could have a stubbed toe, it'd be water on the knee.
Yeah. No, poor girl. She had like a, what would you call it?
Oh, holy moly.
A birth mole or whatever she had on her. She had it ever since she was a baby. On her cheek. And it just got bigger and stuff, like on the side of her face right here. And they finally went to a dermatologist, and she wanted to get it taken care of, and so they took it off. Well, the dermatologist did a really poo-poo job.
They didn't know what they were... I mean, they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing by removing the mole.
And they got it out.
What they didn't know what they were doing was when they stitched her up after the fact, so she got a big keloid scar right there. So she went and had some plastic surgery to hopefully remove the keloid scar. So it's not a big, huge, bubbly scar, and it's just a thin scar as it should have been in the first place.
And he's one of the top plastic surgeons in the area, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Unfortunately, when I first saw when they did that, I was like, that's going to scar so bad. Though when I saw it after they did it the first time when they took it off, I was like, that's going to scar so fucking bad. What'd they do? I was like, that guy's shitty McShittertons, and I'm not a doctor. I'm like, I've seen enough plastic surgery shows to know that you guys fucked up. And that dermatologist lady, that Dr. Pimple Popper, like I've watched her do stuff and how she sutures things, nothing like what hers was sutured. Like, I was like, what the fuck? No way.
But, yeah, she's fine. She's probably going to be hanging out with friends later.
Yeah. Robbie's like, Ayla, don't be lazy. And Ayla says, Dalitha, that's the problem, walking home would suck, right? Totally would. Like, that would be the worst part. Is after a whole day of working and standing around, like, and then walking back, and then just walking up the hill. It'd be the hill that would kill you. It wouldn't be like walking down the road or, or coming up. It'd be that hill, that mountain part. Fuck. I'd be like, and dead. Just roll me off into the ditch. Walter says, I guess the kitten is in the house. He is in the house, Walter.
He's right there.
He's up in here. Up in here. Sorry. Ayla says, I was born lazy. Robbie says, you numpty, Ayla. Crazy says, out of the 7 words in my screen name, you would choose Auntie to call me. Raleigh says, who you think win Gauntlet match?
That's a tough one. Natalya would work best in that situation because she could carry Liv. But I would like to see either Shayna Baszler, for it to be realistic, and I know Triple H liked her back in the day, or Raquel Rodriguez would be my 2 that I would like to see go to win it. Who you got?
I don't know. I don't even know why they're even doing it, personally.
Well, she has to have a match.
I guess, but, I mean, I just think it's weird to have a gauntlet match to figure out who you're going to go up against. So if he says, I wonder where the Sami Zayn storyline is going, Ayla says, Robbie, I don't know what that means. Robbie says, Ayla, Google it. Ayla's like, yes, Auntie. Film says, hello, Misty and Travis, big hugs and big heart. Hey, Film.
Gunther.
To Ludwig Kaiser.
He wrestles him every week.
He's going to go out there and...
So he beat him last week. This week he'll probably end up taking the L. I don't know if they're trying to break him up or what, because Gunther just beats him up every time he's in there, even if he wins. So
yeah, I don't know. That's really weird, right?
It's just a weird dynamic. Hopefully Triple H fixes that, because that could be rectified and they could be a great team for a minute. And I don't mean a team. I mean like a... Just
a group.
Yeah, a little...
Just keep them as a group for a little while longer. It looks like, Robbie, this is Google. Dennis says, what are your predictions for the Gauntlet match? Oh, Travis already said those. Anybody else out there have any stuff they want to see with the Gauntlet match? So he says it'll be interesting next year when WWE enters TV talks with the networks to see what they get. Ayla says, my nicknames for fellow gabbers usually stick. Fat Lisa, for example. Raleigh says, that's what I do. Delete the walk home. It's flat, though. No car. Don't drive. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't blame you. Like, the problem of it is like, where we're at, work isn't just down the street a couple of blocks away. Work can be over miles away. So, like, for me, work is like 5 miles away. I don't know how many kilometers that is. Sorry. You'll have to do your own math on that. Rob like, D, a DMX fan. Oh, that's jokes. Oh, because of the up in here. Sophie says, maybe Sonya. Martha of Chicago PD says, when Trips had a ponytail and old Vince ran SmackDown. Raleigh says, it is a tough one. Can't choose a winner. Shayna would be cool. Give her a chance.
Yeah, I would like to see Shayna get a big push here.
Sayla says, I got my driver's license late in life. Still hate driving. Gives me mad anxiety, so I usually only drive when I have to. Bill says, here comes Gunther. And Dennis says, I thought Paul was heavy on Xylee. She's my pick. Sophie says, how's your dog that was having problems doing?
He's doing all right. He hasn't had a seizure since the 28th of June, which is always nice.
Yes. But stressful, because we always feel like they're coming.
Yeah.
Says, Travis, how's your face? Still stupid? Sorry, had to.
Stupid face.
It's always stupid. His face is always stupid. Probably like, Gunter is a strange man.
Yeah, right?
Sophie's like, now the question, who will Gunter face at the UK show? Or he's like, LOL.
Nakamura would be my guess.
He's going to have to teach him a lesson, right? Because Ludwig isn't getting it done.
Yep. And
Dennis says his gauntlet match better be long. Raleigh says, okay, mine's like 1 mile away. Raleigh says, anyway, Shayna, Liv, chosen someone.
All right, it's commercial break time.
Woo!
Shinsuke doing some damage, though.
Gunter is not happy with Ludwig's performance, I don't think.
Look at this. He almost hurts him right here.
Oh, shit.
As he flips him over.
Oh.
You'll see it right.
Don't do
He's
that.
like, whoa.
Oh.
He's like, oh my gosh. Nakamura's heavier than he thought he was. It's a big guy.
That guy. So it says USA Network is so happy that Paul took charge of the W that we might see commercial-free hour of Raw every once in a while. Are they really happy, Sophie, or are you just making poop up? Did you talk to, like, the USA Network people?
She did. She called the execs.
I just want to know if she talked to the executives and, like, actually got, like, an answer from them about how happy they were. I was like, I got lucky. My work isn't that far, but once I'm actually moved into my house, it'll take longer. David Hudson is in the chat. Hey, David.
Hey, David.
It says, Charlotte will be back next week, I believe. Yeah?
Wow, that would be quick.
Got the inside scoop, do ya? Just kidding. That'd be cool, I guess. It'd be quick that she's back, but
it's time.
Yeah. Ravi says the pony made Paul nose look bigger. What?
He had a ponytail. And so he pulled everything back so his nose looked like it just...
So his face was just really prominent, like this way.
Right.
Raleigh says
looking
probably
like Ichabod.
David Charlotte. Oh, like Ichabod, nice. Robert Warney in the chat. Hey, Robert says, hey, what's up, wrestling buddies? How much?
I just watching some SmackDown, getting ready for that Gauntlet match. Right now it's Nakamura, though, in there with Ludwig Kaiser.
Yep. Dennis says, wait, is the Bayley faction here tonight?
No,
they're not here tonight. I know they did show them for stuff that happened on SummerSlam.
Obviously, they could be. We don't know. But we have not seen them yet.
Yeah. I don't foresee them being on SmackDown. I guess I could be, but... Robert says, did y'all enjoy SummerSlam?
I haven't seen it.
It was alright. It was like, love you, Travis. Laughing. Your face is cool. Sophie says, I feel like Charlotte will return in the build-up to the UK show.
Right, but she isn't going to be wrestling unless something happens with this Gauntlet match tonight. Because it would make no sense to have... I mean, they could always just do her, because I'd like to see her against Raquel Rodriguez, because they're both big and physical. Mm-hmm. Let Charlotte beat her, to push her into the title picture at the end of the year.
Right.
But Ronda has to be champion heading into Mania.
Ah.
Why Becky wins the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Because Becky's going to be out a few months. Hopefully she'll be back for the Royal Rumble. She wins that. And then goes in and wrestles Ronda Rousey. Because that's the story that we need. Right? Because there was really no clear winner. It's the only time women have ever main evented a WrestleMania. It was a big deal. Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. And Becky won, but Ronda's shoulders weren't down.
Right.
But that's where Becky 2 belts came from. It became a big deal.
Right.
It's huge. It's literally the only time in the history of the sport where women have main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that's big.
Yeah, it was big and kind of a flop. But it was big. Totally big.
Huge, yo.
Wrestling's back.
We are back. Kaiser's taking it right to Shinsuke Nakamura. Gunther's on the outside. Gunther's obviously going to get involved in this. The referee's back's turned. Hey, he didn't.
What are you doing over there?
I need a big red trench coat.
Do you?
Although I made fun of everybody that ever wore a trench coat, so I don't know.
Well, they were black, so not the people, the trench coats.
Right.
Let me rephrase that. The trench coats were black, so, making fun of them was a whole different thing.
We call them the Trench Coat Mafia. They hang out Brady Park, so we call them the Brady Bunch. And there was this one kid I couldn't help but tease every day because his locker was by mine. So I just called him RoboCop because he wore chrome. Black and chrome everything. Everything. Like boots, like the top of his boots had like a chrome shin guard. Mm-hmm. And he had like chrome pads on his arms and shit. Just call him RoboCop. He probably thought he looked cool. And maybe he did to some people. I'm sure he got strange. I have no idea.
I have absolutely no idea. I didn't know those people. They were usually really nice, though.
Yeah, I didn't, hate him.
They're usually really quiet, which was kind of creepy. But he always be nice to those quiet, creepy people, guys. Just saying. No matter where you live.
Nowadays, you have to. Back in my day, it wasn't even an issue. I don't even know if people thought about it. They might have. Nowadays, it's basically suicide by cop. But they want to take people with them. Mm-hmm. All right, Ludwig Kaiser. Got Nakamura. Nakamura. Nakamura got the W.
He did.
Well, he's got those educated feet. Hit him with that big knee.
Now we know what's going to happen, right? Gunter is going to have some kind of altercation with Shinsuke to teach him a lesson about how you don't disrespect
Germany
him.
Or wherever, Austria.
Because he doesn't really care about disrespecting Ludwig. It's disrespecting Gunter at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but we knew Nakamura would win this one.
Yeah, it's already
Look
started.
at
Shinsuke's
Gunther
like,
coming in from behind him right now, though. Nakamura's not a small guy.
He's not. You would think he was kind of small, but he's really not that small. That's pretty funny. Vindicator says, delete that. When you and Ayla did cosplay chat streams together, did you discuss your wardrobe weeks in advance or just 20 minutes before going live? So that first one we did for Money in the Bank was majorly planned because I had a vision. And I am the type of person when it comes to that kind of stuff that I have to plan pretty much all of it. To make sure it kind of turns out, and it still kind of didn't because other things happened during the day, and of course it was my fault and we were late. But the second time around though, I kind of flip flop between a couple ideas, and then I just kind of stuck with the one I decided, and it was easier, and so it didn't have to be as planned because of how easy it was. It wasn't anything that we really had to, I didn't have to order a whole bunch of stuff or anything like that, so it was a lot less stressful to do that one. But it still wasn't spontaneous. It was still planned. Raleigh says Gunther versus Ludwig, sorry, lost, or is it Sammy versus Gunther? I'm being stupid. No, Raleigh, it's going to be probably Shinsuke versus Gunther.
Yes.
It says, so for our first one, Took weeks to plan and get it figured out. Our last one wasn't as planned. There you go. Crazy says, disgusting what they did to Shinsuke. The man was red hot, wins the Rumble only to lose and fall to mid-card for 5 years. They waste so many red hot stars.
He's back. We'll see how they work it with Triple H.
Raleigh says, Andrade back on AEW after wedding or marriage. Yep, he was back. Robbie says, D, so excited, square return. And David Hudson says they're advertising her local TV next week. Nice. Dennis says, I'm honestly so happy for Dakota Kai. Yeah, hers is a little bit weird, I guess. She's not really in a contract yet, and so we're going to have to see how that plays out, guys. Raleigh says that would be a good match, Charlotte versus Raquel. Vindicator says, I'm more inclined to believe that Ayla and spontaneity would go hand in hand. But then I remember you have a Daria side to your personality, but the first one was more extravagant. Yeah. Raleigh says, well, it was more extravagant because it was Money in the Bank, right? So it had to be. Where SummerSlam's laid back, you're cool, you're just having a good time with your friends on a summer night. Not the same.
Give me 2 pina coladas.
Or if you want to sing weird country songs,
one
Travis
for
is the
each
one
hand
for you to do. Raleigh says both same size, 6 foot. Sophie says Cody and Becky 2023 Royal Rumble winners, so they could both have the same comeback story. Vindicator says, so it makes sense that it was planned and yet underappreciated by many, especially Sophie. It's fine, Ben. Nobody really cares about that particular person's opinion. Ayla said, I had a male Karen at work today. He said we lost a customer, and I told him in a very monotone voice, oh no, please come back. Thought I'd share, haha. Sophie says it must be easy writing for a 2-hour wrestling show in SmackDown every week than a 3-hour Raw. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. Raleigh says Undertaker trench coat like he wore. Do you mean? Being stupid again. Sure, Raleigh, like those black leather ones. Robbie says D would look cool in a trench coat. Sure. It looks like Vin, no, I'm absolutely not spontaneous. If I don't have a plan, I'll have an anxiety attack. No joke. I hate just doing things. Everything is planned and thought out. Yeah, so I know that Ayla's like that, so I have to kind of accommodate her with stuff we do. So I try to make sure that she has at least a month's notice. No shit. A month's notice before I do anything. Hey, this is coming up on this date. It's a month away. You good? Sophie's like, how has your week been?
Good. Solid week.
It's been okay. I'm not going to lie. It was trying a couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Vindicator says, unless he's a billionaire, Ayla, he wasn't worth it anyway. Robbie says, I bet D was a popular kid in high school. That's hilarious, Robbie. That's so funny. You're a funny guy. I was not. Ayla says he wanted a ribeye steak with no fat. That's not a thing for those who don't know steak. He wanted a ribeye steak with no fat. Like, he didn't want fat in it at all. Like, he wanted... Did you show him a picture of a ribeye steak? And then go, if you want a steak that's less fatty, you want a sirloin that has hardly any fat in it.
Brett makes those ribeyes and then cuts the fat off.
Horrible people. Ayla does the same shit. She doesn't eat the fat. She doesn't like the fat either. It drives me bonkers. That's why she likes those sirloins. Because they don't have fat on them. Right. I love the fat. It tastes so good. Sophie says it'll be interesting what storyline that were under Vince will continue under Paul's regime. Robbie says Nakamura deserves more. Vindicator says, I'm surprised male Karrion don't have their own name. Maybe it should be Kenneth. I thought it was Chad.
Or Kevin.
Sophie says they are saying that match is scheduled for next week's show. And Ayla says some call them Kevins. Some say Chads. I don't know what's trending. I don't know. We're going to go with Kevin's. Totally going with Kevin's on our show. Crazy says now trending on Twitter, Wrestling Gab uses racial joke disrespecting black people in trench coats. Exactly. Vindicator's like message retractor. Robbie says D has some good ideas for the Gab. Defo worked. Sophie says it seems like the 23 Rumble will be stacked with a lot of people that have been out injured. Could fill both Rumble matches.
It could be very interesting when Cody comes back. If Cody comes back at that time, it would be weird for him and Becky to win the Rumble, though.
Vindicators like Chad. I can see that one. Kevin is actually a cool name, though, just like Travis. Vindicator, is your name Kevin? Is that why it's cool?
So...
Because the last 3 letters are Vin.
I used to hang out with my cousin and his girlfriends.
Right.
And they would always call me Kevin because they forget my name.
Oh my God.
And so that's pretty funny. They said Kevin intro. They're like, it's Kevin. And then anyways, they said it like once, but then it caught on. So then I was just Kevin with them. There was 3 of them in the little group. He was going to text him right then. They need a favor. Yeah, Roman is coming out tonight. Whoa.
It's not really my job.
It would mean a lot to Roman. He's going to go get in the production truck.
Robbie says, Ayla, wasn't you trending? Vindicator's like, so what's the most popular steak in your restaurant, Ayla? It's a butcher shop, but restaurant works too. Ayla says, I'm never trending. Robbie says, with the next WWE pay-per-view, will we have the multiverse wrestling gap of Ayla and D with Travis missing it for some reason? Maybe. I don't know. You'll have to tune in to find out next on the next pay-per-view of Clash at the Castle.
Yeah, I'm not missing it. The one in Cardiff. I like the day one.
Vindicator says, stop it, SmackDown. Stop showing my baby Liv tapping. We get it. She's a loser.
She's wearing her black tape outfit tonight.
What happened to her arm?
She got put in the arm lock by...
Oh, so now she's wearing an expensive piece of equipment?
By Ronda.
That's dumb.
She's just coming down to basically probably talk through this match.
Oh, good talk.
Which is going to be terrible.
Yay.
But...
Can't wait for that.
That means we do have the Gauntlet match. So
yes.
Hopefully this lasts an hour. What time is it?
An hour.
They can't do an hour, so they're going to have to do it. But they could do it
at least
45 minutes.
30 to 40 minutes even. Or longer.
But the women's matches only last about 3 minutes apiece, so they could fly through this.
Ayla says, I don't work in a restaurant in I guess in New York, I don't know, or a ribeye. You don't know which ones you sell the most of? That's kind of weird.
Do you guys sell grass-fed beef?
Robbie says, Travis, do you know any country songs by Chris Stapleton?
No, probably not. I mean, I think I know who that is, but I stopped listening to country. I stopped listening to all music in about 2003. So anything made after 2003, I don't have a real grasp on.
Sophie says the last 2 pay-per-views, it looked like you had it planned. Totally planned. Biohazard Gaming in the chat. Hey Biohazard Gaming. Hey, Vin, my baby is Aaliyah. Oh.
Nothing wrong with her.
Down on the very far scale of seeing people. I think she's in the Gauntlet, though, isn't she?
Probably. There's quite a few girls that look just like that.
Ayla says, I plan everything laughing. I'm annoying. I'm also obnoxiously early for everything. You tell me to be there at 5. You bet your butt I'll be there at 4:30. Whatever, you'll be here at 3. Don't even lie to people. Don't lie.
Who are we talking about?
Ayla being early to everything. She said, if you tell me to be there at 5, she'll be there at 4 or 4:30. And I said, whatever, you'll be here at 3.
So the next pay-per-view or something?
No. She just says, I'm also obnoxiously early for everything. You tell me to be there at 5 p.m. You bet your butt I'll be there at 4:30. And I said, once again, no, haha, don't lie. You'd be here at like 3. I guess they didn't want her to say shit.
I don't know what she said. But Kayla Braxton does not look impressed with Liv either.
I don't like her eyelashes. They're freaking stupid looking.
The crowd's booing her.
I want to boo
It
her.
is about that time. They're starting to catch on.
Boo.
Oh, poor girl. I feel so bad for her. She's so bad on the mic.
But she's had so many years to improve and hasn't. That's
I
my
think
problem.
when she gets nervous, she just locks it up and she can't figure out what to say. Is that Sonya coming out first?
Yes, thank you. Robbie
Sonya
says,
coming out
LA
first.
More popular than D, I thought. Crazy says T-Bone owns all for your steak. I mean, it's good because it has a bone in it, so it makes it taste good.
Sonya starts immediately. Hits it right off the part. Oh, this is just sad to see.
She's sweet. I like her.
You tell these people, some of them will buy it because they're dumb.
Jesus, Sonya. Everybody knows you shouldn't be the champion right now.
She holds it above her head. Right, Sonya just nailing it. Hopefully she gets a really solid push. Put her in an armbar. Not if you're starting it out. Well, against Aaliyah. Yeah, Raquel now has a giant advantage. I was like, if Raquel's going to lose this, they have to put her in the beginning so she's in there the whole time.
Yeah.
But now that she's not one of the top two, ouch. That means that she's going to come out later and later. So each time somebody comes out, it's going to be her winning. Unless Triple H says Shayna's time. Because, I mean, whoever it is, I don't think they're going to win. I think Ronda's going to be Liv for the title.
Right.
It has started, by the way. Sonya Deville taking it right to Aaliyah. She's like choking her with the ropes.
Robbie's like, Ayla, what's wrong with you cutting the fat off the steak? Then he goes like, steak fat has a gross texture and taste. You're supposed to season that as well as the rest of this steak. And there are some fat, which is mostly like the gristle that does have a gross texture.
Yeah, I mean, if you bite into the ones that's like hard, like chewy, yeah, I just give that to the dogs. But that's not a lot. That's like a tendon or something. I don't know what that is.
But the ones that are all buttery and just melt in your mouth.
That's why you eat those. Picks her up. Slides off the back. So anyways, not Ronda, what's her name? Sonya has caught her in a chin lock.
Wow.
And Aaliyah doesn't have a lot of offense. To be honest, to me, Aaliyah's the one member of the roster that probably shouldn't be on the main roster.
Yeah.
I don't feel like she's good enough to be there.
Maybe they haven't put her in situations where you could see if she is good or not.
Right. Oh, we've seen her. We're watching her right now.
It was like, so I explained to him that a ribeye is fatty. That's just how they are, and he might want a sirloin. Nope, I'm dumb.
Yeah, you don't want to recommend a sirloin for somebody that wants a ribeye.
So, Ayla, what you should have done is you should have been like, sure, we can totally get you a ribeye, sir. And then you said, just cut the outside fat off. And then give him that. And be like, here you go, sir. That's what you asked for. And then if he's like, there's fat on it, be like, sir, that's a ribeye. And then
or just get a ribeye out and hand it, like show him, like this is what it looks like. What do you want removed? Mm-hmm. Oh, Raquel's next. Raquel is next. So now Raquel versus Sonya.
Oh, did Aaliyah get eliminated then?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Raquel Rodriguez.
So it was like Ayla's like Penny from The Big Bang Theory by being a waitress.
I love
Ayla's
this.
like, I'm not a waitress.
So this right here
Ayla's
is
not a waitress.
This is the match that I fantasized about 3 years ago when we were watching NXT.
The sisters?
Yeah. Remember?
Yes.
When she was in NXT on those Wednesday night shows, I was like, she looks just like Sonya Deville. And now they're together. The Banger sisters. Sonya kicking her ass.
Kicking her ass!
Kick her ass, Seabass.
I'm kicking my own ass.
Do you mind? Shit, Sonya taking her knees out.
Bryce says, hey guys, I have to go. See you guys on the next live stream. Bye, Bryce.
Right,
Thanks
Bryce.
for hanging with us for a minute. Have a good rest of your Friday night, bud.
The next one will be tomorrow night for 1 hour.
Boo.
8 p.m. Eastern. I think you're in Europe, right?
Boo. Bryce is not in
Oh, is he not?
Boo.
I thought he was in Europe for some reason.
No.
I thought he was always asleep.
No. Ayla says raw via ribeye has fat streaks running through it. It's basically just fat. You can't cut it off. Robbie's like, oh, I can imagine Ayla cleaning tables and collecting glasses. Ayla's like, I work at a commercial butcher shop, guys. Thought y'all knew me.
You ain't know me.
You ain't know me. So it looks like they're setting up Sami and Kevin Owens to team up against the Usos at some point.
Possibly. I don't know where Kevin Owens is at during this, but it could happen for sure.
Film says, I'm sorry, guys. I wish I can stay, but I gotta go. If you see my favorite women, say what time it is for me, please. And thank you, part 1 of 2. And
They
bye,
are.
peace out. God bless. Hey, Film, guess what time it is?
It's armpit time.
It's air time.
Oh, Rodriguez wins.
It's armpit time. Liv was out there. Sonya was out there. Aaliyah was out there. Raquel's out there.
Raquel won.
Sonya's out. Now we got Shotzi coming down. They look happy to see each other. Real happy. It looks like Mama Pop Shop. Jordan's parents own the place. Ravi says, I wouldn't trust Ayla with a knife. Raleigh says, meat everywhere. Then Ayla, I don't like steak any down.
Did she answer my grass-fed question yet?
No, not yet. Thumbs down for meat. Raleigh, you don't like steak? You don't like the moo moo cow? You don't like the beef? Beef! That's what's for dinner! Ayla says, well, don't eat it then. I don't know what to tell you. Raleigh's like, I bet the Gauntlet match is a long match, I'm guessing. Ravi says, Liv milking it with the celebrations.
We've already had 2 of the 7 women done. They've already been pinned.
Yep. David said, her voice is annoying. Ayla says, I don't actually work with the food except fish. I work the cash register 2 days a week. I don't know, Travis, if it's grass-fed.
Not all of it, just if they have grass-fed. Yeah, all right.
Raleigh says Aaliyah is in the Gauntlet. I saw her pick earlier. She is not winning. We can all agree on that. Yeah, she was eliminated first, Raleigh, so sorry, bud. Yes. Robbie says, so what is Liv saying? She said when she was talking, blah, blah, blah.
That she couldn't lose because
cry.
she trains too much, but then she cried about it.
Where? That was all I heard.
That's how she survived so many arm bars. That's what she said.
I totally survived the arm bars. Her annoying voice. I'm sorry, guys. She's great. James to tell us in the chat. Hey, James says, Roman Reigns the next president.
Yes.
Robbie says, D, you should teach Liv how to be good on the mic. Oh, honey, if she's been at this for as many years as she's been at it and hasn't learned anything yet, she ain't learning anything. She's a lost cause. Villa says we sell to all the restaurants in town and a few towns next to ours. Everything is sold out the back of house, so I have no idea what's the most popular. Our salmon is the most popular. David message retracted. And Raleigh says Liv not very good at promos, very wooden. Poor Liv, so cute. I will let her off. And David's like, don't let Liv talk. Aiden, the Super Mario creators in the chat, says, did Liv turn heel?
I don't think so.
I have no idea what she's turning.
But the crowd was booing the shit out of her.
They did not want to hear her talk, that's for sure.
I mean, there was some scattered cheers, but there was a lot of boos. Yeah. I feel like the crowd's changing, turning on her, which we knew they would. And plus, they might have been doing it the whole time. There's just, they stopped pumping in the crowd noise. We noticed that on Monday.
Yeah.
It was a dead crowd in Houston, and people are like, oh, it's the crowd. I'm like, I think the crowd's been that way since forever. They just haven't been pumping in the noise since the pandemic.
Everybody doesn't watch the people in the crowd. They just listen with their ears instead of looking with their eyes. Cashing or charging? That sounded more like a starter.
I feel like what they're not developing is the wrestler that works the crowd. If you watch Edge, when he comes out, he works the crowd. When you watch The Miz, he works the crowd. Mm-hmm. When you watch Roman, Brock, they work the crowds. Right. They don't care about their opponent as much.
Right.
Jericho works the crowd. The Japanese wrestlers work the crowd in AEW. You don't see it from Nakamura. Nakamura does not work the crowd. You've got to work the crowd. The crowd will respond to whatever you tell them to do. They're actually pretty cool about that. True. Like if you do this, they'll start cheering. If you flip them off, they'll boo you. Like they're very responsive because that's what they're there for, and they really want to do that. But these younger wrestlers don't care about the crowd. They're just out there to do their job and leave. Charlotte works the crowd. Becky works the crowd.
Yes, they do. And when they start working the crowd, then whether they're popular or not popular, it doesn't matter because that's what you do.
During the break.
Ayla says, on Friday alone, I sell 30 to 50 pounds of fresh salmon out of the front of the store. Nice. Sophie says, and some WWE wrestlers could ad-lib if they want with both promos and the layout of the matches.
Ayla, how much is a pound of salmon?
Robbie says, Aaliyah getting squashed. Ayla says, fresh because I live in Idaho, so it's as fresh as you'll get out here. Sophie says, I don't watch AEW, but I still know what is going on there. P. Cola's in the chat. Hey, P. Cola. Says, ew, I like Mad Libs. Give me an adjective describing Liv Morgan. Give me an adjective.
I don't know what an adjective is. Is it like a pronoun? Her. Hers.
Crybaby. Sophie says, it is weird that Charlotte isn't involved in this gauntlet match. No, because she's just out.
She's
Why
not
would
there.
She be involved in something like
wow. Raquel.
It's beneath her.
Just picked her up and power bombed her from hell.
Ouch. Robbie says, does Square need to be in every title match?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Until they find somebody that can compete at her level, yes.
Yeah.
You don't just watch boxing and when Mike Tyson was in his prime, you go, does Mike Tyson have to be in every heavyweight championship fight?
God damn
yes.
He's a champion.
Until he gets beat.
That's funny.
Xia Li next. Xia Li taking it right to Raquel. Kicking the shit out of her. Hasn't even used her hands yet.
Parker Curry is in the chat. Hey, Parker says, hey, I have a question. Is Scott Hall still alive or not?
No, he passed away.
He passed away. There's your answer. Sorry, bud. Ayla says, I'd rather be rude to stupid people. I technically don't work there, so I'm not getting fired. Sophie says, Paul teased that Kevin Dunn isn't fully done with the WWE, so don't get Ayla mad when she is working or she could cut up with a butcher knife. And Ayla's like, Sophie, what? Yeah, I'm going to go piss Ayla off while she's working, so she'll just stab random people with a butcher knife.
I feel like they actually should get Jordan turned into a butcher.
Right? I think he should. Pickle says, oh, hey, y'all. It's nice to just chat. I've been working on some film trivia all day for this Twitch streamer I follow. Ooh, that's really cool, man. Sophie says, you work at a butcher shop, right? Yes, she does. Robbie's like, do people recognize you like you're famous? LOL off the gap. No, Robbie. No. That's hilarious. You're so funny. You really think that people know me. That's hilarious. It was like, it is nice.
Xia Li.
That Lisa. That's why I come to
Xia Li has been dominating this match. Raquel has had no offense at all yet. None.
What? That's ridiculous.
Not 1 ounce of offense yet.
I was like, Sophie, I got what you said. That's why I laughed. Sophie's like, if you live in the UK, isn't it the next day already?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Sophie, 10 out of 10. It was like, Travis, we could probably get grass-fed cow. Robbie's like, so D, she cried in the corner.
Oh, Rodriguez hulking up.
Just like her D. I know.
Oh, big headbutt by
really
Raquel.
Totally
Xia Li attacks her right in the midsection. Xia Li just doesn't have the size.
Right? But she's got the tenacity.
She's got quite a bit of that.
Sophie says, I'm not great with time zones. It's like, Sophie, it's a commercial butcher shop. We don't butcher animals. Walter says, okay, bye, Travis and Daphne. See you Saturday for AEW. Bye, Walter. Thanks for hanging with us tonight.
There it is. It's over. Raquel wins
says,
this one.
I have a question. Is Luke Harper still alive or not? No, sir.
Is your next one Chris Benoit?
Vishal MH says, why you live? Already this show live.
Yeah, we're a watch along. Now you can watch it with us and we'll tell you what's happening.
Of what's happening.
All right, here's Natalya. And Natalya came down. Raquel. So Natalya's the next opponent.
Ooh, we'll see how this works out. Robbie's like, oh, come on, Sophia. It doesn't butcher roadkill. Sophie's like, what's the difference between a regular butcher shop and a commercial one, which I didn't know exist? I was like, why are we alive? I don't know yet. Pickle's like, hey, see ya, Walter. Hope to have you back tomorrow. Robbie's like, commercial sell to restaurants.
Hey, and we'll be here for that 1 hour that Walter could be here.
That's true. He'll be here for the full hour and 1 hour only. Pickle's like, oh, I'm still alive. Yeah.
Natalya working Raquel. Look at that. That's got to hurt.
So it's like baseball season is almost over for some teams.
Yeah, almost 2 months.
It was like, I just told you, Sophia, a commercial shop doesn't butcher. We distribute already cut meat to restaurants and sell to the public. A regular butcher shop butchers animals. Pickle's like, or whatever Eddie Vedder says.
Oh! Ew. Big right hand right to Natalya's face.
Smack her in the belly where she's all soft and squishy.
Rolls her through.
That's it. Slap her in the belly. Squishy,
look at the power of Raquel. Big suplex right there.
Poor Natalya in her butt.
1, 2, and Natalya's a heavier girl.
Yes.
She's very dense.
It like Robbie laughing. Roadkill, oh my God. Looks like what? And it was like salmon is $13.79 a pound.
Yummy.
Sophie says, under Triple H, we don't hear any crowd piping noises like we are used to.
Yeah.
As you shouldn't, ever.
All right, there it is.
Stop lying to the people.
Is Raquel going to tap out? Natalya got her in the sharpshooter.
Oh, ouch.
Now she's just stomping on her knee. Wonder if Raquel's going to get water in the knee.
She already has water on the knee. I mean, she has water on the knee. No, how dare she?
Whoever comes out last in this is going to have a huge advantage, which could be Shayna Baszler. But they're definitely showing some dominance of Raquel. Oh, she's lucky she didn't just hurt her head right there. Okay. That might have done it. 2 and 3. Raquel wins again.
Robbie says, D, the lighting suits you tonight on stream. Thanks, Robbie, opposed to other nights when I look like
this is it. Shayna Baszler's the last one.
Luke says, I literally told Jade would say crybaby. That's the best adjective that suits her. Pickle's like Travis, like salty or disgusting.
Oh, for an adjective?
It's descriptive.
I was joking.
I knew he was joking, but
I was trying.
I knew you guys would have fun. Ayla's now telling you an adjective is like a noun, but it can be a verb, but sometimes it's like a pronoun. Conjunctive junction. What's your function? Does anybody else remember that? Yes,
do.
Ma'am. Conjunction junction. What's your function?
Liv is pretty.
Crybaby. Crazy's like Schoolhouse Rock. Robbie's like, oh, Ayla never heard of it. Of course he hasn't. He's from the UK. They're uneducated heathens over there. Just kidding. So if it's like Days of Our Lives is getting moved to Peacock when NBC is replacing it with some random news shows.
No, news sells, especially right now at the brink of war.
Whatever.
It sells. Scare people.
Lies.
Then they come back.
Scaremongering. Don't listen to the news, people. And if you're going to listen to the news, make sure you get it from multiple different distributors. Robbie says, D, I consider you as a celebrity. Thanks, Robbie. Do you want me to get you an autographed picture? $50 American. Oh, wait. $50 UK money. And that's more in my money. Or, yeah.
50 pounds.
Whatever gives me more money in my money. Crazy's like, unpack your adjectives. Rob is like, Natalia going in tonight. Raleigh says, I'll be here tomorrow. Did you say it's a 1 hour pay-per-view, not long? It's just a 1 hour show.
Yeah, it's not, you don't have to pay to watch it.
It's not really a pay-per-view. It's on regular TV and stuff. I
think it's on TBS, but it could be on TNT.
Special is all it is, guys.
Is it TNT or TBS? I think it's TBS.
TBS. So it says visual. I guess he is a new person. Yes, they are. Raleigh says Raquel great in NXT, strong, cool finisher. Choke slam. Does she do that still? Good point. No crowd noise was a lot better.
She's been doing it tonight with a power bomb. That's how she's beat everybody tonight. Is with the power bomb. No choke slam.
Let's see. Pico says, so I was watching a Netflix special about Woodstock 99 today.
What about Woodstock 99?
He was watching a Netflix special about it. Pico was.
That was the crazy one, right? Where all the women were getting raped and stuff everywhere. Like
it was just been in 99 because it wasn't in the 60s. They never did that stuff then.
What are you like? Do you not understand what we're talking about or something? So there was one in 90.
Oh my God, satire, sir.
There was one in 94, and then I think the 99 one was the big one that MTV did.
Yes.
Because it was the 30-year anniversary.
Yes, it was.
And that was terrible. That's when they were like throwing mud clumps at the bands and.
Yep. They were heathenistic morons.
Right. It's because they had the wrong kind of people at it. They allowed different types of groups to have concerts instead of just good old-fashioned musicians.
Yep. Vindicator says soft and squishy. Raleigh says Raquel on fire. Wonder if she wins. Probably.
I think she's going to. Shayna Baszler should win this. She's the fresher of the two. But it looks like they're definitely pushing Raquel. I would like to see Shayna win this because it makes more sense. Because she's a little bit smaller. She's a little bit better wrestler. So she can help Liv out a little bit.
Yeah. Robbie says, oh, you always look piff. Aw, thanks, Robbie.
Piff.
Gosh darn it. I try.
Raquel's beat everybody.
So, Zach, remember Everybody Hates Chris, Paramount Plus order a reboot called Everybody Still Hates Chris. But as a cartoon. Huh. Robbie says, Raquel's steamrolling through. Ayla's like, yeah, Robbie, you uneducated swine. Ayla's like, Robbie is so in love with you, D. Heart faces. Right? Who wouldn't be? I'm amazing. I have everybody around my little finger tied up with love.
Shayna Baszler, a big knee, too, and Gonzalez, or Rodriguez, sorry, kicks out.
So it's like, you should be on American Idol. Right, Sophie.
Are you going to sing?
Your sarcasm is leaking through the chat.
Shayna rolls her up!
Conjunction junction. I sang it. Robbie says, yeah, an autograph picture would make my day. I'll just sign it to my #1 fan. Oh, you're one of those kind of fans. The crazy one. Got it. The rally's
big splash.
Powerbomb, sorry, I went off for 5 minutes. Just come back.
Raquel drops her down. Shayna
lost.
Got her in the Oscar lock.
It's Raquel and Shayna now. We'll see how it works out for them.
Remember when Shayna came up and she started, like, biting Becky?
Right? Like,
we all thought she was going to get a major push, and that was it. That was the end of her career.
She just did her weird vampire biting, and that was the end. She never bit anybody else.
No, that was it. That was
just freaking Becky. She just bit her, and it was like, what the fuck is happening? And they're like, I'm going to bite you.
Raquel's almost asleep. She's going down.
Raleigh says that. Luke says, I'm wondering if Shayna wins, faces Liv, which will see Ronda come back hella.
Oh, rolls her through. 1, 2. Shayna had to break it. Rolls her up. 1, 2, and 3. Shayna Baszler with the dub.
There you go. What a weird ending. Shayna Baszler won the Gauntlet match. So strange.
Shayna wins.
Did you hear what Luke said? I'm wondering if Shayna wins, which she did, right? Faces Liv, which will see Ronda come back, and she'll join Shayna.
Right.
Weird. Pico's like, no, it should be on TNT because they moved Dynamite over. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ayla says, it's actually romantic. Ravi's head would hit your kneecap. A love that could never be. Raleigh's like, piff, OMG, I know what that means now. Thumbs up. Looks like 99 Woodstock had Korn, Metallica, Limp Bizkit, and the like.
Right.
So
bands that attract trouble.
Yes. So
I don't know about Metallica per se, but I know those other ones, like definitely Limp Bizkit.
Korn and Limp Bizkit totally attracted all the bad
because
people.
People wanted to quote unquote mosh to that kind of music.
Yes.
And so it was more violent type music. But anyways, it was a terrible thing. I remember watching it, and Carson Daly was on stage at the end of it because he did the news or whatever, the reporting, and they were like burning shit down and throwing rocks at him.
Jesus.
Like dirt,
Clods,
mud with rocks
right?
in it and stuff. Like it was just nuts. Weird. They tried. I don't think they've ever done another thing like that. The one in 94 was, I was in junior high, and it was so fantastic. We got it on pay-per-view and watched it for 48 hours straight. It was the whole weekend.
That's funny.
It was
awesome. I remember you telling me about that, yeah. Sophie says that old people that usually watch us both Days of Our Lives and Dancing with the Stars will be missing it this season since they are going to be on streaming services.
A lot of older people have smart TVs now. Depends on what you consider old. But the boomers are fine, up till about 75. The people older than 75...
They don't really watch that stuff anyways. They watch the news.
They're probably going to be just watching the news. They're like, oh, look, they put a new news station in here.
News and game shows. That's how my dad watches anymore. News and game shows. Oh, and then he does watch, like, reruns of, like, Law and Order and stuff like that. And then complains about them. It's amazing.
I'd complain about it.
I know you do. Because you're old. You're like an 80-year-old. Sophie's like, my aunt went to the very first Woodstock. They're setting up a Ronda and Shayna tag team at some point in the future. Ugh. Wow, Sophie and Luke are like in sync. Picola says, I think it was way too commercial. It's a 3-part show. I stopped watching it episode 1. I remember there was a massive fire at the Limp Bizkit or RHCP set.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Rowley says, Jesus, Luke, how good is your memory? Holy crap. Rowley's like, 99 Woodstock. Ravi's like, LOL, crazy, LOL. Ayla says, I think my grandma, Travis's mom, went to Woodstock. Did she go to Woodstock?
I know that her and Claire went to Woodstock, but I don't think they got to Woodstock. I think by the time they got there, it was over.
They probably were like, I think it starts, and then they probably got sidetracked knowing those two weirdos. Look, a big ball of twine.
Well, they had to hitchhike across the country. It wasn't as easy to get there. You know how nuts you had to have been in the 70s to hitchhike?
With all the serial killers around?
It was like the prime of serial killing.
Right? Raleigh says, that was weird. Shayna biting everyone. What was that all about? I don't know. It was one time, one person, one thing, and it never happened again.
And then
Becky was feral that night and that night only, and Becky was like the person she wanted to chew on.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen cats breed. Have you ever seen cats breed?
Yes, it's creepy.
It's very violent.
Yes.
The male cat gets on the back of the female and then bites it to paralyze it. You know how you pick up a female or a cat and it paralyzes them? So the male cat bites that.
Right.
And then they lift, and so then the female can't move, and then they continue with the rape.
That's great, Travis. Is that what Shayna did to Becky?
And she was pregnant weeks after.
So really it's Shayna's baby?
It could be Shayna's baby.
Oh my God. Why don't they throw that out there?
You ever seen chickens do it?
I mean, men are women and women are men, so what difference does it make?
Have you ever seen a rooster impregnate a hen?
It's really weird. Yeah, they get on top of them.
They get on their back and they grab their back of their head and they yank on it. They bite the shit out of them. Same thing. That's exactly what happened.
That's just mean.
So what it probably did is drop an egg, and then Seth just happened to luck into a home run.
Nice. Looks like it's good, Raleigh. And Luke says, holy shit, I called it. Sophie's like, Shayna versus Liv, a fresh match. James Sotelo in the chat says, you need to vote for Roman Reigns. He's the only one that could scare China. Oh, that's nice. Raleigh says, Shayna versus Liv. Oh, dear, Liv, you in trouble. New champ, Shayna. Piccolo says, good to see Queen of Spades getting a push. Sophie says, that what network TV needs by adding more news programs. Great idea. Yeah, it'll just make it so people don't want to watch them, but it's good. Ravi says, Shayna rolling tonight. She's going to break Liv in half like a Kit Kat. Raleigh says, sounds awesome. Luke 99 Bloodstock. No, Raleigh, it was not awesome.
No, it was a
scary, scary thing.
Especially if you were of the fairer sex.
Women should not have went. It should have been a sausage fest for everybody. Robbie's like, D, I'm crazy for you. Ha ha ha. I knew that's why you were probably in an insane asylum. I knew that's probably why you were really in the loony bin, not necessarily working at a loony bin, but you actually are at.
Here comes the Viking Raiders.
It's those guys. Dennis says, did Shayna win? She sure did, Dennis. Sophie says, so what is the main event match?
It isn't going to be a match. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre head face to face. You know those good old face to faces.
94 the first one. Woodstock didn't know that. Cool.
Well, obviously the first one was 69, but
Raleigh, the first
25 years later was the 94.
I know you're from the UK, honey. It's okay, but that's cute. No, the first Woodstock was in 1969. Then they decided they wanted to do another one.
25 years later, and it was fire.
And it was really, really good. And then they decided to do another one at the 30-year reunion, and it turned to shit. And I don't think they've ever done it since. Anyways, Ailes like, Robbie and Talitha. Sounds right. Oh, I know, right? Pico's like, oh, no, Raleigh. OG Woodstock in 68. Yes, Pico. So
nose to nose, your toes are in it. Toes to toes, your nose is in it.
Gross. Sophie's like, have you heard of Pluto TV and Tubi? Yes. Raleigh says 30 minutes left. Wonder who wrestling.
The Vikings says, now against Jimmy
Graham told me a crazy story.
Somebody else.
About how they hitchhiked. Ha.
Jim Mokey.
Who are these weirdos?
Gibson and Mokey.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that they're wrestling jobbers. Very strange to do. The Vikings are like, we need more people to murder. That poor guy's.
It isn't quick work, McAfee. Respect.
So, I don't know about everybody else, but I know Eric's like kind of like a little bit of a redheady guy, right?
Yeah.
But he looks sick.
Well, because he's put on some weight.
Well, no, I mean, he's just so pale that he looks sick. Like, he looks dead. Like, he looks not healthy. Like, there's something wrong with him. Like,
do you think it's some of the black over his eyes?
I think his skin looks blue. It's kind of gross.
Like he's not getting enough oxygen?
Like he's not getting enough something. Dude, you need vitamin D, friend. And you're not getting it. That's nasty.
Look, he just piled them on top of each other and pinned them. It's over.
It took 2
Gibson
seconds.
and Mokey.
That was the best match ever.
It's more than 2 seconds.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. What is wrong with that guy's hair? That guy's hair's like bleached out all weird. He's like, hey, get off of him. I want to beat him up. Here, get out.
Raiders. The vicious Viking Raiders.
They're very vicious. Very, very vicious. Very vicious. Realize this match is wise. It was like, and male cats have barbs on their manhood parts. Ha. So it is grape. Gross. It's not grape.
Oh, Kofi came down, saved everybody.
Like coincidence?
Broke the shit out of his kendo stick.
Faja.
Just saying. It's science.
It's science. Men are women, women are men.
Oh,
so it's
shit.
Fine. It all works, right?
Kendo stick busted to shit after Kofi busted it all over the vicious Viking Raiders.
Rafi's like, if humans did that, they would be locked up. Ravi, only if the other person tattles on the other person that it happened.
If society breaks down, it will.
Yes. James Sotelo says, so Vince McMahon is no longer part of WWE. Supposedly he retired.
Right.
So
they say.
I consider old like people between 60 and 70.
Yeah, then they're fine. They can watch. They know how to use their equipment. They have the internet and
Robbie's like, D, if Liv retains, then what you saying? I'm not saying shit, dude.
What do you call people older than 70? Senile?
They're ancient. They're dead. They're just walking corpses. You see them everywhere, too. It's gross.
Well, they're boomers. They're
walking corpses everywhere.
I think they outnumber the next generation.
They do, actually. They're the biggest generation ever.
Most of them just had 2 kids, which means that they didn't grow in size.
Nope. Raleigh says I'm English and stupid. I did not say you were stupid. Nobody said you were stupid. Who said you were stupid? You're not stupid. You're just from England. It's fine. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. How embarrassing. Why are you embarrassed? But I was like, D, did you go to Woodstock? Oh my God, Robbie. Who do you think I am? Like old? Jesus, man.
You could have went to the 99 one.
What am I, like an ancient
Did you get raped? Person? Did you get raped in 99?
He was like, haha, Travis. Raleigh's like, Roman. I don't even know where it was. I couldn't even tell you.
Same place. The same farm. They had them all 3 in the same spot.
Well, that farm's probably gone now. They probably sold it and put
it's outside
condos and stuff.
It's outside of New York.
Robbie's like, I read that. I was like, haha, Travis. Raleigh says Roman's interest is 15 minutes long. I'm not joking. It is about that long. Pico is laughing and is like, so Robbie would need a ladder to hang out with Dalitha or stilts. I was like, yeah, English are stupid. D and Ayla reminds me all the time. Raleigh's like, thanks, Robbie. Wow, savage. Robbie's like, Ayla, oh, don't reveal my secrets in the chat. Pickle's like, they are very Viking as well. Don't forget, they're vicious and Vikingish. Pickle's like, 90-year-olds are the new 40s. Yay. Those 40s are than the new 10s. Crazy says that Viking Raiders Kofi segment was the best thing done all show.
It was pretty good. I liked the women's gauntlet match, but I know where you're coming from. A lot of violence.
Yeah, right? The violence. The violence. Halo's like, I call him stupid. It's not my fault, though. He was born that way. He's a product of his society. James says, you think the Usos are considered to be the best tag team in all of wrestling?
No.
Oh, hell no.
No. They're in WWE, and so there's just not a lot of competition in the tag team division. We'll see what starts happening when they have to wrestle these Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings are doing good. They're hot right now. It's going to be a while.
Yep.
But
it was like, so I'm a newborn? Basically, according to P. Cola's logic.
I want to see Beer Money come in because I feel like that's not too far away. They were going to do it in 2020. And then James Storm ended up not getting a contract because of the pandemic, and they started releasing athletes instead of keeping them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, we got a singles match next. Kofi came down, beat up everybody, so Eric and Kofi are wrestling now.
There you go.
Some Vince McMahon booking.
A little bit out there, huh? It was like, not a bully, as Robbie's like, hey, that's such a bully. Raleigh's like, I like Viking Raiders. They were great in NXT. See that word? They were. Oh, WWE hope Paul makes them good again. And Pico's like, Travis,
what up?
They moved Woodstock 99 to some closed military airfield. The doc mentioned there was nowhere for shade and people were dropping like flies due to heat exhaustion.
Huh.
How did they survive in the 60s? It's ridiculous.
LSD.
Yes, and they just bathed themselves in mud.
Yeah, it rained the whole time, and they just played in the mud.
Ella says, I'm a realist.
Oh, Jesus. Eric's just decimating Kofi. Now, remember, Kofi's a world champion. Eric's never even been close to that level of a wrestler, so Kofi should easily win this match.
Yes. Because he's a champion.
A former world champion.
Yes.
That wasn't that many years ago.
Nope.
It was 2 years ago.
Yes.
2 years ago this year.
Yes.
Literally. He was champion 2 years ago.
Kayla says, I'm a realist. Sophie says Logan Paul is scheduled to box at the end of the year, which is weird. I thought since he signed with the WWE, doesn't need to do that anymore.
It's not that he needs to. He gets to. He likes that stuff. That's what he trains for.
Says
Logan or Jake was supposed to fight tomorrow, and the guy that he was fighting, he backed out of last week because the guy couldn't get down in weight. The guy weighed in today at 206.
At the weight he needed to be?
205. 1 pound. He could have shaved his head. He has long hair.
Oh, jeez.
And made the cut. That's why you don't cut a fight a week in advance.
Right.
So now Jake just looks like an idiot.
Right, because he is.
And so everybody on that undercard, which had some pretty good athletes on there, aren't getting paid because of that stupidity. So
Well,
he screwed up a lot of people's stuff there.
Screwed up lives, screwed up their livelihood. Yeah, people rely on those paychecks, my friend. What a dumbass.
The one that Katie Taylor fought, that Sorano.
Oh, yeah?
She was supposed to fight.
Ooh.
On the co-main event. 2 and... Oh! Eric gonna beat Kofi? Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Eric is beating the shit out of him.
Yes.
By the way, this match has already lasted longer than that tag team match.
Yes.
As it should. Unless Kofi just ended it quick. Because Kofi's the better wrestler here. He looks like the underdog, though. But he's not. He can't be.
Right.
Right? Like, it's not just me talking out of my ass.
No. I was like, Ayla, little people have feelings, too. And he was like, cool, explains why I sleep like crap, haha. I don't know what that was about. Ayla's like, Robbie, I don't agree. Crazy's like, was America's Most Wanted better than Beer Money?
No. I like Beer Money. Although Beer Money's never been in WWE, so.
Pickle says, heard Wu-Tang was the realest, too. You're in good company, Ayla. Ayla's like, right on. Sophie says, we don't know how the new people in charge of the WWE is going to fix the tag divisions on both shows.
Well, I feel like we're going to at least have a tag team division. I feel like we could get more. There's Kofi with the win. And that's what we wanted. Kofi to win because he's the better wrestler in the singles match. But Kofi did win this.
Even though it seemed like he wasn't going to.
Yeah, he did look like the underdog, but I don't know how you could be when you're a former world champion and you're just wrestling a tag team wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Although he did it on a fruit roll-up.
Which is dumb, but whatever.
Took him 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Raleigh says, so Kofi versus Eric, then Roman promo? Yes, now it's done. Kofi and Eric are done.
Yeah, they had to fill some time because,
Yeah.
damn, you couldn't have Roman come out with a half hour left.
James says, did they have air conditioning in the 60s?
Look, Women's Tag Team Championships. There it is, guys. Tag Team Championship. So is it going to be a tournament? Or are they just going to put the titles back on? Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament begins on Raw live this Monday.
So good.
This Monday, Women's Tag Team Championship.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
That just happened.
It happened. You guys should know it happened, and it did. It was like, he ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing but a G thing.
Raleigh's like, that was cool moment, Kofi champ. Robbie says, Ayla, you Wu-Tang fan. I always knew it. She was an OG. Ayla's like, it wasn't hot enough in the 60s for them to need air conditioner. Picola says, Ayla has liquid swords. You better protect your neck. Robbie says, were you around then to know, Ayla? Raleigh says, 1 pound off. OMG, how annoying for Jake Paul. Twice he meant to face some none before that, but he not allowed in USA visa problems.
Yeah.
Sophie says, Logan Paul did sign a multi-year deal. We don't know when he will show up on WWE TV again.
Main event stuff. He'll probably wrestle 2 or 3 times a year, would be my guess.
Ayla says, I'm at a T1000 liquid metal. Raleigh says, Tyson Fury cousin, last comment. Ayla says, yes, Robbie, I was born in 54. Robbie's like, fruit roll up. Raleigh's like, beer money were good impact. Robbie's like, oh, that explains it. And Sophie says, James Storm and Chris Harris did have short runs in the WWE. Robbie's like, D loves a fruit roll up win. Oh, Robbie, that's all you. Raleigh says, did not know that, Sophie. And Pico says, Robbie, she's in her 90s, so technically she is 40-something. Raleigh's like, tag titles back, okay. Pico's like, oop, kitty alert. It was like, hot as fuck and 90. Sophie's like, wow, but what women's tag teams do they have to fill that tournament, though? None, but they're going to make some up, aren't they? It's going to happen.
They're going to figure it out.
Robbie says, Cola, LOL, explains it. Crazy says, bring back the Iconics. One of them's pregnant.
Yeah, Peyton's pregnant, so.
Peyton's having babies, so nope, she ain't coming back for a while. If ever. Right? Sophie says, one of the Iconics is expecting a baby. Yep, you're correct. It is Peyton. Robbie says, Cola, you still searching for people in their 70s? Crazy says, yeah, I know. Wishful thinking. Pickle says, that's why I came back to Florida, to pick me up some cougars. That sounds about right, Picola.
Get you some divorcees.
Get you some rich ones, too.
A divorcee or a widower.
Sophie says Tyson Fury was rumored at one point to be part of that UK show. Raleigh says, he was Sophie. Drew versus Tyson Fury, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
I don't know any of this
I didn't hear any of this.
I didn't hear any of these rumors.
Drew McIntyre. Is he going to bring out Angela with him after this commercial break?
Probably. Old Angela. Old Angie. Bring out the Angie. Boop, boop.
You.
What?
Oh, you touched my arm. Does that bug you? Here, let me leave it there.
Crazy's like, Piccola, have fun at Del Boca Vista. Raleigh says, Drew promo is it, and Roman, do you hope Drew wins? Like or nope?
This is a tough one for me. I feel like somebody
winning.
needs to dethrone Roman.
Ain't gonna be fucking Drew, and if it is, that's gonna be weird. They ain't gonna take it off of him.
At home?
They're not gonna do anything. They're gonna keep it on Roman forever. He's going to be a double whatever champion for whatever. Somehow they got to find a way to separate the fucking titles at some point.
I think they should just unify them and get rid of one of them and then make the world championship again and put it on Raw. That's how I'd do it. I'd be like, all right, here he is.
So it says, with them bringing back the women's tag team championship, is that how they are going to bring back Sasha and Naomi?
Yes.
They probably, but I think it's stupid if they do.
Well, of course they
Why
are.
would they bring them back as a fucking tag team? What they gonna do? Like let them win so they can have their titles back that they cried about and dropped and ran away from?
Yes.
Ew, you guys are mean to me. I'm gonna leave.
I wouldn't be surprised because we got some new tag team champions down in NXT last night, Tuesday night, whatever. And so there's some tag teams that could come up. We could get Toxic Attraction.
Right.
So. What they should do is just keep one tag team title belts for all the women on all three shows and let them just rotate.
Right.
And do what you want to do.
Ayla says, so if I'm 90, that means T is 120? Yes. Yep, at least.
Are we talking about like dog years or something?
No. If 90s is the new 40s. But Ayla's 90, so I have to be older, I guess. Probably like Pickle going to grab a granny night, LOL. And Pickle's like, maybe Trips can ask old Pac to defend his All-Atlantic title on the UK show.
That'd be funny.
Ayla says, 110 maybe? Pickle is like, Gibbous. Crazy says, I'm still pushing for the idea of Heyman turning on Roman for Drew.
Huh.
Interesting.
That would be a very interesting idea. I don't know how it would help the storyline with the bloodline.
Right? Robbie says, LOD sounds just like Sasha. I know, right? So it was like, remember, they have Austin Theory still teasing a cash-in, so Roman could be dethroned at that UK show.
Yeah, I think Austin Theory leaves their champion.
Yeah. James says, what was the most dangerous move in wrestling?
The pile driver definitely is. The real pile driver.
I think it was when that guy used a zip line to come down to the ring all the time. I think that was the most dangerous move in wrestling. He died.
You talking about Owen?
Yeah.
Owens wasn't as dangerous as Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is the one that actually came in on a real zip line.
Pico says, Lady Knights here have extra walkers and are Golden Girls themed. Nice. So it's like that tag team tournament they announced is almost 3 months ago, and I thought they forgot about it.
Well, H and Stephanie are there and brought it to the forefront.
Ayla says, well, you're older than me. All I was going to say, delete that. What's your moisturizer? I am older than you by however many years.
Like 12.
The only moisturizer I use is aloe vera. That's it. It's all I use on my face for a moisturizer.
I use it after I shave now.
Yeah.
That's my shaving gel or whatever at the end.
Yeah. It's
I could probably use it in the beginning.
It's very nice. I like it. It was like, I want to be Sophia. Fat Lisa gives off Dorothy vibes. Robbie says D has a deal with L'Oreal. That's why she looks so good.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Not anything but my natural self. James says that's why they don't use the pile driver.
Yeah, I feel like the pile driver's got to be the most dangerous move.
Sophie says they should have unified those world and tag team championships, or else what are we doing here? Watching some dum-dum on TV with a man bun talk to us. Pickle's like, I'm a little bit Rose and sometimes Blanche when I'm frisky. It was like, I use the Ordinary line. I use a lot of serums and oils. Yeah, I don't use any of that stuff. I've thought about getting some like natural, like some vitamin C serum and stuff, like something like that. But other than that, I don't really use anything. Excuse me. James says, when you come back Monday, show your background. What do you mean by that? Show your background?
You're talking about my butt?
Oh, gross.
You want to see my butt?
Robbie's like, D has more natural beauty than Liv. Oh, jeez. Sophie says, with Triple H in charge, expect a lot of former WWE stars to come back, especially the ones that got fired during the beginning of the pandemic. It was like laughing, are you Fat Lisa? I wouldn't think you're Rose, but I could see Blanche. Rose, James says, backyard. Oh, our backyard.
Go outside again.
Pickle says, do you think per capita does Florida or California have more post-op plastic surgeries?
California.
Yeah, I'd have to say California per capita. Pickle's like, whoop, whoop, pull over, Travis. So it was like, here's my prediction. Drew beats Roman for the championship. And that's when Theory cashes in and wins. That's Sophie's take on it.
Right.
I think you've said something about that too. Drew winning and then Theory cashing in. Question. Does Theory cash in and get both titles though? Or does he cash in and only get one?
That's the tough part.
Because I wouldn't think that the Money in the Bank contract is for both titles.
What if he turned it into a triple threat match and then both of them did like a double submission move to Roman and then Roman tapped? And so they both won. And then they just
had to split them somehow.
I'm trying to think of some stupid ass thing they could pull.
James says, you have a big backyard. I like it. Yeah, our backyard.
It's messy. But yeah.
It was like, oh, Travis, you got a big backyard. I'm dying.
You have a big truck. So I can put my bike in it.
Rob is like, D, both would be stupid. Only one. What's stupid? What's happening? Both would be stupid. What are we talking about, Robbie? I'm lost.
Oh, he respects Brock Lesnar.
Boo.
He tried to kill the wise man.
Oh, is that really why? It was like Robbie is stupid. Sometimes. It's because he's from England. That's fine. He doesn't know any better. He drink tea and stuff. Just kidding. Yeah, Yeah, prayers and stuff. Now Drew's going to come out and tell him how
prayers.
stupid he is.
Here comes Drew.
Pico says, wish Chris was here. I'd mentioned the first girl as a strip club I've ever met with butt implants. Oh, right. Where is Chris tonight? He's probably out doing stuff because he's in Texas and it's a Friday night and he's probably partying. Feels like
Ew,
Pasadena,
our tribal
Texas
queef. He called Roman the tribal queef.
Did he really?
Yes.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Our tribal queef.
South Park.
What is this?
There's
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross is here.
It's happening, guys. Karrion Kross is happening. Scarlett Bordeaux, time is now. TikTok.
Wow.
Travis still has a shirt.
I do. I can wear it again.
You can still wear it now. You don't feel weird.
Oh, Karrion attacked him from behind.
Oh, no.
Is he in the bloodline?
I wouldn't think so, but he looks so weird with hair, guys, just saying.
He looks more handsome.
He looks weird because you're not used to him with hair, but he does look better with hair.
Is he going to get in the ring? Is he going to take the spot and wrestle Roman? Or are they going to do something else now? Maybe a triple threat?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going to happen.
We'll see if he gets in the ring.
Ambushed by, I don't know, who is this person? I can't talk because I don't know names.
Scarlett looks like a $100 bill.
Hey, he's got his gimmick back. TikTok.
There it is. Let
Chris
the time
Cross,
start.
or whatever his name is. Karrion Kross with the TikTok. There you go. And there's Scarlett. Rob is like, do the championship titles theory cash in? Maybe. Sophie says that's the problem with giving Roman both world championships. It seems like when Roman defends his championships, he defends both, not one. Ayla says people who drink tea equals lower intelligence. Robbie says Ayla full of compliments. Piccolo says trips. I love this man. James Satella says, is Liv going to turn heel? I don't know. Vindicator's message retracted. And Sophie says, Karrion Kross, wow, I wonder what that means for his independent bookings that he was scheduled for. He probably put them in his contract that he still needed to be there for him. Luna says, I legit thought that was Edge for even a second. Robbie's like, Ella, stop drinking tea. Then Ayla and Pico's like, he rewrote all the shitty debuts just by giving Karrion Kross and Scarlett a real fucking debut. Yes. Like, they let him be them, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome, letting it be who he was. That's the kind of stuff I don't mind Triple H doing. Bringing in that kind of stuff, bringing in the changes like that is great. Right? But I just don't want him to start pushing people that don't really deserve pushing, and weird people like 12-year-old boys. People's like, it's the best shit that happened tonight. I'll be damned! Probably Chris Cross, right? It was like, I don't drink tea. Pico's like, it's the best show. Oh, I read that. Sophie says that's the second and third release talent that Triple H brought back. Gothleshi is like, bye-bye, guys. Have a good weekend. You too, Gothleshi. Thanks for hanging with us. You too, Luna. Vindicator says, happy to see a fresh match now with Cross and Roman. Yay, Scarlett. All right, see you guys for B.O.B. Martha says, I'm out of here. And Crazy says, that was a great ending. Robbie says, Cross big him up. This is spicy now. It was like, night, guys. It says, Roman versus Karrion versus Drew for the UK show.
That's what I'm wondering, if they're not going to add a triple threat here.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. We will be here tomorrow for that 1 hour Battle of the Belts segment for AEW. That will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern time, guys. It's only for 1 hour, so we will see you tomorrow. Robbie says, big up Travis and D. And Pico says, all right, y'all. See you for the stank tomorrow night. Yeah!
Should be a pretty good one.
Stank. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Don't drink tea. Bye.
Yeah, because it's bad for you.